Hey guys, welcome back. In this video I'm gonna talk about multiplication and division of surds. Last video we looked at addition and subtraction of surds. In addition and subtraction of surds, we need to first looking for like surds. And then add the number before like surds together. For example, 2 times square root 5 plus 3 square root 5. We add the number before the surds together, which is 2 plus 5 equals to 5 square root 5. However, in multiplication and division, it's a bit different. When we come to multiply two surds, we simply multiply the number outside the square root sign. And similarly multiply the numbers under the square root sign. And a similar rule holds for division. A square root x divided by b square root y. You divide the number outside the square root, and you divide the number under the square root, which leads to a over b times square root x over y. Okay, now you know the concepts of multiplication and division of surds. Let me give you some examples. Example A, 4 times square root 7 times 2 square root 2. As the rule said, we need to times the numbers outside of the square root together, which is 4 and 2. We also need to times the numbers under the square root together, which is 7 and 2. So 4 times 2 times square root 7 times 2, which we will get 8 square root 14. Question B. 15 square root 35 divided by 5 square root 7. Same as before, we divide the numbers outside of the square root and divide the numbers under the square root. Therefore, we get 15 divided by 5 times square root 35 divided by 7, which leads us to 3 square root 5. Now, let me give you some questions including both surds and the distributive laws. Question A. 2 square root 3 times bracket 4 plus 3 square root 3 bracket. Just as we do in algebra, we can times 2 square root 3 by each terms in the bracket, which we will get 2 square root 3 times 4 plus 2 square root 3 times 3 square root 3 equals to 2 times 4 equals to 8 square root 3. And by using the rule before, we can get 6 times 9, because the outside terms outside of the square root is 2 times 3, which is 6, and the terms under the square root is 3 times 3, which equals to 9. And can we further simplify this expression? I believe we can, because square root 9 equals to 3. So it's 8 square root 3 plus 6 times 3, which is 18. And 8 square root 3 plus 18 is the final answer. Alright, let me show you another one. 1 minus square root 2 times 3 plus 2 square root 2. In order to solve this question, we need to use the concept that I said in the video before. Binomial product. So it's basically a plus b times c plus d equals to ac plus ad plus bc plus bd. So we times the terms inside of the bracket together. Okay, now let's see how can we solve this question. So first we times 3 plus 2 square root 2 by 1 and negative square root 2 separately, which we will get 1 times 3 plus 2 square root 2 minus square root 2 times 3 plus 2 square root 2. And then we further simplify this. We get 3 plus 2 square root 2 minus 3 square root 2 minus 2 square root 2 squared. Don't forget it's minus because there's a minus before the bracket. And in the simplifying third video, I told you that square root x squared equals to x. So square root 2 squared equals to 2, which will get 3 plus 2 square root 2 minus 3 square root 2 minus 2 times 2, which is just 4. And lastly, we can find the like surds, square root 2 and square root 2, and add them together, which we will get negative square root 2 plus 3 minus 4, which is negative 1. And then we get rid of the bracket, equals to negative square root 2 minus 1. And that is the final answer. Okay, that's all for the video. I hope you enjoy it. Please subscribe and I will see you next time.